Hello brave beings, it's GreenCosplay again. In this video I have a story to share. I'm trying out this kind of new video format, or it's not like a new video format, but for me it is because I've never tried this before. I really like watching especially YouTuber artists drawing something or painting something, and then they usually talk about different kind of topics, or then they have a story that they are telling. And because I have wanted to tell this story for a while now, and I really didn't know how to kind of build up this video, and I thought it might be actually pretty fun to try this out, and also it might be a bit more interesting for you to watch me do something, in this case drawing something, than watching my face and me telling the story like that. As you might notice about the decorations that I have going on in here and what I'm sketching out, and especially, well, if you read the title of the video, I assume you did because you clicked on the video, thank you for clicking. This video is Dragonlance theme, and it is because I was cosplaying Raistlin Majere when all of this happened. I don't know how dramatic this story actually is. It's just, I don't know, for me it's just kind of funny. At the time it was kind of funny back then, but it was mostly just frustrating and annoying. Many unfortunate events just kind of piled up that stuff didn't really work the way in my favor or anyone's favor. It's just many things went wrong and didn't really work, or it was just many small things which ended up me feeling really bad and crappy. It was just a lot of stuff just going wrong. My story sets place 4 years ago in Worldcon 75 in Helsinki back in 2017. In the second last day of the convention, so Saturday. And this convention was very different experience for me and my friends, because usually in Finland the conventions are 2 to 3 days. Like the 3 days is the maximum length of the convention, so this was 5 days, and we decided to cosplay every single day. So a little bit of context is that the convention was pretty long and we were already just a little bit tired, you know. The very first thing that kind of went south was in the very beginning of the day in a convention. So we already made it to the convention building. I don't remember were we taking pictures or video or something, I don't remember, but for some reason Raistlin has this magic wizard staff, and it has a dragon hand, like the claws around the orb, and one of the claws got caught in my sleeve. There was just this one random string that it got caught on, and it ripped it apart just a little bit, so it kind of broke. So that was really good beginning. I was able to transport the staff from Tampere to Helsinki in train, like in one piece and everything was fine. But it's like immediately when I got to the convention I broke my staff. The good thing is that I had some super glue with me, so I was able to repair it, and luckily it was only one claw that was broken, so I was able to hide it in the pictures and stuff like that. It didn't fall off or anything, but it was just, oh, this happened, well, it's fine. But it was just the beginning of this adventure. Another fun thing that happened during the convention was, I think, during the day, or it was kind of like a bit later during the day, we were in a dealer's room or market hall. We were just like hanging around and just looking at stuff. And there was just this guy at some point that just started to follow me. He had a camera and a lot of bags. He looked like a professional photographer or something because of so many equipment he was carrying. He made me really uncomfortable, and I think at this point I was already a bit tired. I think it wasn't in the morning, it was like later in the day. And I don't remember, at some point during the day I started to feel that I have a sore throat. You know, like nothing too bad, but it just felt, you know, that I'm going to be sick, and it just kept bothering me and annoying me. Also, I started to have a headache during the day at some point, but I don't remember did I have these already, that I was kind of in a bad mood anyway. What I should have done is to talk to him and say, hey, I can see you are trying to take my photo. Like, he was literally trying to take a photo of me. We actually made eye contact multiple times. He didn't, at any point, he didn't ask me, can I take a picture or anything. He didn't say anything. He was just trying to take my photo. I just basically always turned around. I turned my back on him, and I also, few times when our eyes met, I just covered my face with one of my arms and then turned away. Like, there were some clear signs of me telling him to leave me alone. I don't remember how long did he follow me, but it was more than 10 minutes. It was like 15 or 20 or something. This is actually a topic that I would like to make a video about, because I have actually experienced both of the sides. I have actually taken snipe photos of cosplayers in the very first conventions that I went to, and I would like to share my perspective of it, but I'm getting out of my story, so it's another video in another day, so let's continue. So I mentioned earlier that I started to feel a bit sick. I kind of started to feel also a bit woozy, you know, not really, oh, I'm going to faint, but you know, that kind of brain fog feeling, and also a little bit of possibly just because of the wig being a bit too tight. I started to have a wig headache, and I started to also just feel tired, maybe because of the wooziness. We decided to have a little snack time, and we found a nice table on front of the like a bar inside the convention building. The bar wasn't open, but there was a lot of tables, so it was a nice quiet spot to eat a little, and we decided to go order some food on the other side of the convention building. So it took like a while to walk there, like there and back. I did go and order some fries or something, and then I wanted to have coffee because I was starting to feel really tired, and I felt that I need to drink something warm because of my throat. And I got my order, and then I walked back to our table, and it was literally like 2 meters away from our table. And the paper bag that I was holding, like there was all the snacks and everything that I had ordered, the paper bag just decided to break. The whole bottom of it just broke, and of course my coffee was spilled everywhere, including my cosplay. And at that point I was like, oh my gosh, I don't care. I don't care. I just need to eat something. I'm hungry, I'm tired, my throat is killing me, and it's just, I don't care, whatever. A good side about this is that I was able to save my food, so it was just mostly my coffee that decided to just yeet out of the bag. And also, thank you so much for my friend for ordering me another coffee. But of course, that also had to go wrong one way or another, because I cannot drink my coffee in black. I have never learned that, so I always need some milk. And of course, when I get my coffee, finally something warm to drink, it doesn't have milk in it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just do not have the energy to just walk there, like, even though it wasn't too far away, but in a convention there's a lot of people in a way anyway, and then you have to wait in a line and everything. And if you are in that mental state that you just don't care and you're just tired, I don't give a shit anymore. I just was like, okay, if someone wants my coffee, whatever. But luckily the table that we were sitting on belonged to the bar, or it was just close to the bar, and we saw that there was this person in there making things ready. It wasn't open, but there was a person like organizing stuff, and my friends encouraged me, they probably have milk in there, just go and ask politely and explain your situation. And that was the nicest person I have met. They were like, yeah, of course, here, have milk, is that enough, do you need more? And I was just like, oh, thank you, you have no idea. This means a lot to me that I can get my coffee. And I think eating and drinking the coffee really gave me some energy, and I felt a bit better again. And we were ready for the cosplay masquerade. So, during the cosplay masquerade, I started to actually feel the headache kicking in again. And I think the headache was due to me not drinking enough water and not eating enough, and also the wig headache. But also because I know for a fact that when I'm stressed or anxious or anything, I grind my teeth, and that causes both headache but also my eyes were hurting and my ears, and also face muscles, because you use your face muscles when you basically grind your teeth against each other. So I was starting to feel all those at once, and also that kind of made me feel a bit woozy. As I said before, like, it just started to get pretty bad and I actually started to feel just sick. Something funny is that I at least can say that I was in character at that point, because if you know Dragonlance, you know Raistlin, he's always sick and just, you know, his physical health is not okay. And on top of that, during that day, there was apparently pretty big-ish storm going around in Helsinki, and I think in Finland in general. During the masquerade, we actually got a warning information about the weather. It's really windy, it's rainy, and there has been like trees falling on the streets, and that there might be some complications about the public transportations and everything like that, so be prepared about this. And we were just kind of surprised, because the room that we were in, there was no windows in there, and we had been inside the convention building basically the whole day, and if we have been outside taking photos or something, it's been pretty sunny and everything, so we were just kind of surprised, like, oh, this is a thing. And when we left the convention building, we usually took a train to get to the convention from our Airbnb, but when we got to the train stop, there were no trains at all, and the information boards that you can like see the next trains coming, there was no information about any trains, and we were like, well, it's raining and it's windy. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't raining that much. It wasn't a storm, so I think the worst storm already happened during the convention. So that's a good thing, but it was still pretty cold, and we were all tired, and we just wanted to take a shower and go to sleep basically, because it's been such a long day, especially in cosplay. So we decided we are not going to just wait for a train that might not even come at all, so we are just gonna take a tram. And we knew that the tram stop was just really close, like a few minutes away. We start walking there, and while we were walking, we were like, wait a second, I can see a tram, what's the number? Oh, it's our tram, that's our, like, possibly the last tram that we can take. So we ran. Oh my gosh. It's so funny that even though I felt so sick at that point and just tired and just done, I don't think I've never run that fast before in my life. Just imagine Raistlin just galloping away to catch the tram. So desperate. I was the first one to catch the tram, by the way, and we made it, and oh boy, when after that running, I felt super sick. And of course, because this whole day was just a pile of unfortunate events, of course, this tram ride couldn't last long, and it didn't go well. Because of course, someone had decided to park their car in a wrong place on the street, that it blocked the tram moving forward. Like, it was on the rails, so the tram had to stop, and then they were like, okay, this is gonna take a while, we suggest you get another transportation. So we decided to take an underground, and that went pretty smoothly. There was no people around there that much. It was pretty late. There was this one guy in the tube that was just talking about Final Fantasy to us, because he saw that we were in costumes and he was just curious about it. And then he's like, hey, I like Final Fantasy, do you know Final Fantasy? And then my friend and the guy were just talking about Final Fantasy almost the whole ride because the underground didn't stop that near our Airbnb, we had to walk for a while to get there, and it felt like I was in trance or something. I was just looking down at my friend's feet, and I was just so concentrating only on walking, like, okay, one step at a time. We're gonna get there. I'm hurting, but it's fine. I'm going to get there and it's gonna be okay. That was all I'm thinking, and most of the time I wasn't really, like, my mind was just blank. I was just concentrating on walking. I had no idea where we were or anything, so I'm really happy that my friends were able to just navigate through Helsinki. And when we finally got back to our hotel, of course, there had to be just this one little thing more, kind of like a cherry on top. The hotel that we were using was kind of like an Airbnb type of situation, and it was basically inside of a building that also had like apartments, and the door is locked, the hallway thingy, or like the staircase. So you need to have a key or a code or someone inside the building who you are visiting who is going to open you the door. But there were just these guys just outside our door, and they were a little tipsy, and they were curious obviously that we are having these weird costumes on, and I was just like, oh my gosh, just let us go. They weren't blocking the way or anything, and they were pretty harmless, but they did want to get inside for some reason. I was the last one to get inside, and they were like, hey, can we come in as well? And I was like, are these guys kidding me? And then I just said no, and then I just closed the door on front of their faces, and I think they were just harmless. They weren't blocking our way getting in. They didn't try to keep the door open or anything. But it was just one of those things that at that point when you're tired and just many things have been going wrong during the day, that you were just like, really dudes, really, you just had to be here right now at this moment, and just I'm done. I don't know, it was just a cherry on top of all of this. So that was Raistlin's not so good convention day story that I had to share. I don't know if that was that interesting, to be honest, but it was really interesting to live, like, the experience, and well, especially afterwards it's kind of funny. And I don't know, it was just when I was thinking about this in the evening and the next day and after the convention, I was just like, wow, that day was it was something. But yeah, let me know what you think about this story. Do you have anything, these types of stories yourself? It would be just fun to hear your stories. What do you have experienced? Do you have anything similar, that there was just this one convention or this one day that things just didn't go in your favor at all? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. My name is GreenCosplay, and take care.